Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where things are not going particularly well for Hans and Henry. On the bright side, they are at least both still alive, although having just had a bucket of shit tossed over him at the gates of Castle Troskowitz, Hans's mission to deliver a message to Lord von Berghoff is not going very well. Completely out of ideas and with nothing better to do at the moment, they decide to retire to the local tavern and have a drink, although how they expect to pay for it is anybody's guess.
Have you two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
Well, I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
Well, the first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
I suppose you're right. We'd be taken for total idiots.
Well, you could shrug that off. But me, we've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas. Instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagenis. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
That's that woman from the pond.
Or the one you gave us away for?
Yeah, that one.
I've heard that witch. Wench.
What I tell you?
Feisty.
What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before.
Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Katherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
Yeah, that would be me.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
I don't know who the voice actor is that they got for Betty, the innkeeper, but she's not very good. She sounds like somebody who has heard English regional accents, maybe on TV or in the movies, and thinks she knows how to do them,
Most
but
of them are dead.
really doesn't.
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha!
hope my uncle
So
don't let
that's
me
why
down.
they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on, are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
We saved you. Me and my lord there. Surely you couldn't forget.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
She bloody well was. Why is she denying it?
And I have no idea why you're trying to deny it. I saw you with my own eyes. You were washing laundry there with some other girls.
Well, I reckon you weren't looking too much at faces, eh? Clear off, you lecher.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Please, I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samine's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
So that's Katherine.
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
And she's clearly lying about seeing us at the pond. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
What for?
To get to work. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house, but as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's where I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
Skalitz.
Never heard of it. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life, but I know this place inside and out.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samine is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Troskowitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathhouse wench.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samine is his vassal.
Who is this Samine?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samine. The fort and the village belong to him. Old Jan Samine is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda. And it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samine, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that.
So there's a couple of wedding guests here I can talk to about how to get into the... What's Hans waving at me? Well, I do need to get his help to move the sacks of flour into the pantry, but I don't think the woodcutter's been invited to the wedding. I waste my time talking to him. What about these two? Hired hand and a housemaid? No. Who's this fella? Is he the carter?
There's a whole day just for a few sacks.
What are you standing here for?
I'm waiting. I'm paid to transport loads, not to haul them on my back. The cart won't unload itself, will it?
That's tough luck.
You know what? It's no skin off my nose. I'll wait here till evening, and if no one unloads it, I'll drive it away again.
Alright, so that's the cart that we have to unload. But where are these wedding guests? Probably not drunk in marriage. These fellas look a little bit cleaner and presentable. No idea who Heinrich is. Svatja Thrush. Thrush was the name of the bailiff, wasn't it?
Greetings. Are you the bailiff, son?
Hi, that's me. Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler of Dvorets.
That's a long name. I'll probably forget after a few tankards anyway. What do you want? You don't think you're gonna wangle some coin out of me, do you?
No. I'll just have a couple of questions.
Ask away. I have plenty of time.
What's going on here in the region apart from that?
Apart from the bandits? Nothing much. Life's peaceful enough. The war has steered clear of us, thankfully. Lord von Berghoff is respected throughout the kingdom. But high politics is nothing for me. I don't stick my nose into it.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding in these parts.
Aye, that's true. My sister is marrying young Lord Samine. A big affair. Guests from the whole region will come. Maybe from as far away as Gutenberg. Even von Berghoff will come. That's how important our family is.
Look, I need to pass on an important message to von Berghoff. But I can't get into the castle because of what happened to us. Do you think you could...
Invite you? Not a chance. I don't know you from Adam.
It would only be for a while.
Look, loads of lackeys like you will be needed at the wedding. Try asking for a job. I'm not saying you're sure to get to von Berghoff that way, but you can try.
You must know young Lord Samine, don't you?
Aye, he's a close friend. Although he's been acting a bit odd recently.
Odd? Odd how?
He spends more time in the woods than at home, always riding off somewhere and doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe he'll be his old self after the wedding.
I'd like to ask about the wedding again.
No, I'm not inviting you. Forget it.
Thanks. I have to be off.
Alright, let's go and report back to Hans. Wait, no, that's the cart. There he is. There have been some interesting developments, young Lord of Perkstein.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
So I noticed, and you took your time coming back to me. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacra! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Sir Older, the son of a respected nobleman from nearby Samine Fort, is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, the local bailiff. It's the talk of the town. Invitation only, it seems. But getting to the wedding isn't as impossible as it might seem. There'll be lots of jobs to do for it. So we could get there as help for the blacksmith, or miller, and maybe someone else.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Troskey be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like Von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I do have a plan. I just haven't counted on Hans being Hans.
Like I said, there's going to be a lot of work involved in a wedding like that. That's our chance.
Work. Well, if you want. But how will you get me to the wedding?
Well, I thought we could both get jobs there.
I'm sure there are other options.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Do you have any idea what you look like?
Well, all right. I may not look much like a noble, but my blood's still blue. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar, as if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
It's a wonder your tongue isn't aching.
Bear in mind that I'm still your master. Enough of your insolence and start accepting your lot. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
Are you really not going to help me? It's just a couple of sacks.
Come now, Henry. What did I tell you about Bellatoris and the natural order of the world? I simply cannot carry sacks.
Of course you can. You'll just do anything not to, you lazy, arrogant, aristocratic fuck.
I'm afraid there's nothing else for it if we're to ever get out of this place. So, Lord or no Lord, the sacks are waiting.
Let them wait. Sacks are good at it. It's not long since I had to drag one sack through the night, and if I hadn't, that sack wouldn't be here now. So I think I've done my fair share. I mean it, Henry. Stop trying to push me.
Suit yourself, then. Right. I'll get to work. Alone.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? Well, giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry, such is my nature.
There is absolutely no way you are getting hands to help you carry these crates. Crates, sacks, whatever, same deal.
That isn't half
He
heavy.
will not do menial labour. So you can stand there arguing until you're blue in the face. You're carrying these sacks yourself. On the bright side, there's not much of a bright side, but hey, you've always got to look for the silk. Where's this pantry anyway? Oh, this is it, I think. Yes. Lugging these great big heavy sacks of flour around, all 5 of them, it is actually improving your stamina and your strength. Pretty much everything you do in this game, whether it's just talking to the innkeeper or lugging sacks of flour around, is going to improve a statistic in one way or another. However, because Hans is, well, who he is, before you can get the job finished, he finds a way to get himself into even more trouble.
Did you say?
See it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Troski. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
And how the fuck exactly were strangers to the area supposed to know that Trotsky had a bandit problem?
Stop insulting our dead companions.
What dead companions? You think I'm gonna fall for that cock and bull story?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you the same advice I gave your little chum. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me, you and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Alright, the bailiff's son is being a dick, but we really can't afford to deal with this.
There's no point in this. Let's leave.
I'd do what your pal says if I were you. Get lost before something happens to you.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Oh, great. Wait, what? Why am I? Oh, well, I suppose I am his bodyguard, but fine. So, unarmed combat. Basically works exactly the same way that armed combat works, except without weapons. Thankfully, this time, I do at least have a full health bar, and therefore also a full stamina bar. Ow. Okay, I no longer have a full health bar. It's not fair, there's 2 of them. Oh, Hans, you arsehole. Oh, looks like there's 3 or 4 of them on Hans. Well, he asked for it. All he had to do was help me carry the sacks. But no, I'm Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. I'm too high and mighty to carry sacks and do a bit of honest labour. Somebody might recognise me. My God. Alright, one down. Deal with this one. Can maybe go and help out Hans. I mean, I am supposed to be his bodyguard. I should be at least trying to help him. Oh, I'm out of stamina. No, not good. Back off, let my stamina recover. Stamina's never going to go up higher than the existing state of my health bar, though, so not taking any more damage would also help. This one's taking a beating. Right. Okay. Get my stamina back. It was just those two, wasn't it? Right. Hans has been cornered by 4 of them. I mean, I could let them teach him a little humility, I suppose, but I suppose it is my job. Oh, I don't know. I'm in a clinch. I don't even know what to do when you get into a clinch. Oh, okay. Well, if my plan was to get their attention, it worked. There's now 1 on Hans and 3 on me. That doesn't seem fair. Okay, fine. Whatever. I'm taking a bit more of a beating. Seriously? 3 of you? Come on. Oh, this has not been a good day. And it's about to get worse. Here come the pigs.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Who do you think's going to catch the blame for this? The locals or the 2 beggars that nobody knows? Don't do it, Hans. Don't even... Okay. Starting to fight at the tavern was one thing, but then he had to go and assault the town guards.
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no. Not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
I have played through this before, and telling this bellend exactly what you think of him is a lot more satisfying.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
But this time around, I'm going to at least try to salvage the relationship.
I'm fed up with pulling you out of the shit all the time.
You pull me out of the shit? And who dragged you through the woods at night, eh? Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
What? Alright, that's too much.
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? We should have made ourselves scarce. None of that would have happened.
Oh, aye. Typical you, running away like a coward. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Yeah, okay, fuck diplomacy.
And you're a spoilt brat who can't even hear himself.
What the fuck did you say? I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Alright, he's still a fucking cock, but he does have a point there.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I have to consider what to do next.
So it turns out that no matter how you try to resolve this situation, you and Hans are going your separate ways from this point on. So don't waste your time trying to patch the situation up, and just tell him exactly what you think and give him as much shit as possible, and enjoy it while you can, because no matter what you do, you're spending the night in the stocks, and then you're each going your separate ways.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Oh, Sir Otto.
Hey! Bogo, Bogo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Oh. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Well, you got to look on the bright side. At least Hans isn't around to fuck everything up for the two of us anymore. Although I'm sure he'll still somehow manage to find a way. Who's that? Although I suppose I should probably first get dressed. They do strip you down to your undercrackers when they stick you in the stocks for the day. Where my stuff really is horribly beaten up. I mean, none of it's particularly high quality to begin with, but basically almost everything that I have is badly in need of repair. And also stinks. I do have some food though. One of the apples are starting to go off. Right, anyway.
Hey,
all kinds of
over
quests
here.
started, but first, who the hell are
Have a
you?
moment.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
She's a
Because
gypsy.
they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work,
to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed, although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
Well, I do actually have a plan for remedying my current financial situation.
I'd prefer something a little more ordinary. I'd like to blend in with the locals and not attract attention.
After what you did here with that friend of yours, even the deaf and blind would immediately recognise you. But between the two of us, it's easy enough to scrounge up a shirt and trousers if you know where to look.
She just gave me a lockpick.
Thanks. These will come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
And this is where the game actually starts. You're no longer shackled to Sir Hans, with him dragging you down and getting you to do all the dirty work and blaming you for everything that goes wrong, and I should probably get a wash. I've been sitting in the stocks overnight getting pelted with rotten vegetables. You can go where you want, do what you want. From here on in, everything is your own responsibility. So let's start by having a look around Troskowitz. Ah, it's a drying rack, although I'm not supposed to be in there. Yeah, nobody's going to arrest me immediately. We're good. So I don't have a... Yeah. Evening, officer.
I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Yeah, I don't have a particularly good reputation here in Trotsky. Well, Troskowitz, the village outside of Trotsky, which is the castle on the hill. But there are things that you can do about that. Although wandering around looking like a beggar, there's a limit to exactly how much you can improve your reputation. But I've got a plan for dealing with that too. So this is the tailor's shop. The tailor has some very, very impressive gear. Much more impressive and fancy than you'd expect for a tailor in such a small village. But he is right outside Castle Trotsky. Then of course you've got Samine further over to the west. And the local noble family over there as well, vassals to Lord von Berghoff. So that one tailor, even though he's in a small village like Troskowitz, he actually has, I think he's the only tailor in the whole region, so he does carry a lot of very, very useful stuff. Very expensive and fancy stuff. Certainly better than the worn gambeson and miner's hood, both of which are liberally smeared in shit, that I'm wearing. Be a shame if anybody were to break in and help themselves, wouldn't it? So what else do we have here around Troskowitz? So this is the woodworker. Or at least somebody in here is the woodworker. Woodworkers mostly sell, well, aside from the obvious tools for working wood, crossbows and bows. You're going to get your ranged weapons from woodworkers. Where the hell is he? Hello, good man. Are you... Oh, hello. We have a sharpening wheel. Well, I'm going to use this to repair the hunting sword, because it's currently in a condition of 30. So the grindstone, this is really, really simple. You press space to spin the grindstone. In fact, you keep pressing space. You're like working the pedal, and then you move the sword. You have to angle it using the mouse. So you move and rotate it to sharpen your weapon. When you see the sparks, bright yellow sparks, almost white sparks coming off it like that, you're doing a good job. When you see smoke coming off it like that, you're doing a bad job and you're ruining the blade. So you keep doing this, hopefully not screwing it up, until Henry tells you, right, that's as sharp as it's going to get. And this will repair the sword to 100% functionality. I mean, it's just a hunting sword. It's basically nothing but a slab of steel with a sharpened edge and a handle.
Can't get any better
But it's all I've got. So, if you take a look at the inventory, you'll see that the condition of the hunting sword is now 100, which means the hunting sword is now razor sharp. So it's worth more, and it'll do more damage. Should probably equip that rather than the mace, because you can't sharpen a mace, can you? So the hunting sword is technically my best weapon. Now I have a perk point to spend, because I gained a point in speech when I was talking to Betty, the innkeeper. So polished wares, if I'm selling something that's in extremely good condition, like the hunting sword, I'll get a better price for them. But I'm going to go for silver tongue. Gives me a speech modifier bonus when I'm haggling, allowing me to get better prices from merchants. And it seems like the kind of skill that will have the most benefit the earlier on you take it, so I'm taking it now. Should probably equip this hunting sword. It's still a terrible weapon, but it's better than the mace, and unlike the mace, I can maintain the hunting sword. It's got the sharp as a razor perk there because it's at 100% repair. And that does make it 10% more valuable, but I mean, the value, 9 groschen. I'm not going to get rich selling hunting swords. I will, however, attach it to my belt. It needs to actually be attached to your belt before you can use it as a weapon. Just like I mean, I keep calling it a mace. A mace is a bit of a grand description for this thing. Here it is. That. It's basically a stick with an iron band at the end. If I end up having to rely on these things to save my life, I am in serious shit. Right, next thing I'm going to do is get some food. I can't afford to buy any, but I don't have to, because just south of Troskowitz are these beehives. And they each contain a fair amount of honey. And the good thing about honey is, unlike other foods, is it doesn't go off. Because honey is a preservative. Honey is what you put on food to stop it from going off. So this should be enough. And it's also highly nourishing. Gives you a lot of energy. So there's enough honey here to keep you going for weeks. So I definitely recommend you steal. I mean, you're not actually even stealing it, because technically the honey from the beehives doesn't belong to anybody. It certainly doesn't flag as stolen goods. So help yourself to all the honey you can carry, because it's free and it's probably the best food in the game. However, before I break into the tailor shop and help myself to his stuff and do anything that might get me arrested or worse, let's just take a look at our options. So the main quest, Wedding Crashers. Find a way to get into the wedding party. We can either do this by enlisting the help of the blacksmith Radovan, who's up here somewhere, or gain access to the wedding party with the help of the miller Kreyzl, who's all the way down here somewhere. We also have a couple of side quests. Combat training, go and see Tomcat at the gypsy camp, which is here. Just across from Rock Tower Pond, by the way, and that is the site where we were ambushed and all of our friends were killed. And it's also nearby where I can find Mutt, my dog. Now, there is a fast travel system in the game, but the only fast travel point that I've unlocked so far is right here, in the village of Troskowitz, so I'm hoofing it on foot. Which isn't a bad thing, because there may be all kinds of side quests that I can bump into along the way, and it certainly wouldn't hurt to explore the region. And it is an astonishingly pretty region. In fact, as is the game as a whole, which is kind of surprising, because it doesn't use ray tracing at all, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, because it means the performance is great. It actually uses a modified version of the Cry engine, which means it will basically run on a toaster and look good. The minimum required GPU to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a 9-year-old GTX 1060. And honestly, I've tried tinkering around with the graphics settings, and I'm playing everything on Ultra, but even on medium or low settings, the game still looks great. So, we're off to see Miller Kreyzl in Lower Samine, which is all the way down in the south-western end of the map. Oh, marigold. I'll have that. Now, of course, fresh herbs will spoil, just like food, which therefore means that their quality is going to decrease, affecting the quality of the potions that I can make with it. But I can dry the herbs at a drying rack. In fact, there was a drying rack in the tavern, that was it. The tavern in Troskowitz. Discovered a shrine. Oh, we've reached a new level in survival and earned a perk point. That was from picking the herbs. So, let's have a quick look. What do we got? Skills. There it is, survival. So there are 2 available perks that we can take. Wanderer. So this increases the quality of beds that I use, which means I get more rest from sleeping in a bed, even if it's a low quality bed. And then there's On the Poacher's Trail, which allows me to sell herbs, games, hides and trophies for double the price. Alright, I'll take that. What's this guy complaining about?
What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I do have a certain amount of sympathy for his predicament.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
Am I going to get into trouble for doing this? Oh, what the hell?
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'd rather take a couple of punches from you than a lashing from my master. I could tell you to stop when I've had enough. But he wouldn't. So you get why it's better for me to be slapped around by you, right?
I could try to convince him to tell the truth, but I'll probably fail, so yeah, whatever, I'm in.
Very well then. Defend yourself. Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am.
Fisticuffs it is then. Now, you can always try to surrender when you get into a fight and hope that the authorities treat you gently, although that's not really a concern right now. Have you not had enough? Because I'm landing some proper licks here.
This is to keep your job.
Yeah, that's right. It's to keep your job. Just keep thinking about your job. Okay. Are you all right? I didn't kill him or anything. No, he's fine. He's fine. Well, did you get what you wanted? Oh, wow. He does look a right mess. So, you happy?
All right.
Oh, that was rough.
Do you think that's enough?
I definitely. I'm sore all over. Oh, my mouth most of all.
Glad to be of help then. Take care.
So, that just happened. And I didn't get arrested. Beating some poor sod up by the side of the road. What's going on here? Some kind of roadside camp? It'll be fine. A bit further down the road, I come across Samine. So this is where Lord Jan Samine lives, one of Lord Otto von Berghoff's vassals. And his son, Alder, I think that was his name, is marrying Agnes, the daughter of the Troskowitz bailiff. This is where the wedding is going to take place. Somehow or other, I have to find a way of getting in there. Which is why I'm heading down to Lower Samine to see the miller Kreyzl. A couple of 100 metres down the road past the manor house is the village of Samine. There's not a lot here. Although there is a laundry spot to the left over there, down by the pond. Although I need soap for that.
Got it. God be with you.
Yeah, my appearance doesn't exactly instill feelings of great friendship and camaraderie in the locals. That was the local thief taker, warning me to stay out of trouble. Yeah, it's fine, I'm just passing through. Further down the road to the southwest from Samine is Lower Samine. And there's basically nothing in Lower Samine except for this place, the mill, which is owned by the miller, Kreyzl, and he's the guy I'm here to see. And unless I'm very much mistaken, that looks like him up there. Don't know what those are, not important. Hello, Master Miller.
I heard at the Troskowitz tavern that you might have a job offer.
Well, you don't look lame. I reckon I could find some work for you.
I also heard you're invited to that big wedding coming up.
That's no business of yours at the moment.
All right. So what kind of work do you have for me?
You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
Well, I probably won't find anything better around here anyway.
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half dozen you carry. It may not seem like much, but if you don't dawdle, you might even save up for some nag at the Samine stables. I heard they got lucky and recently rounded up a bunch of horses from some company that got routed by bandits. They've got some gray old nag that they're practically giving away. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour, you understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Oh, fuck me.
Careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work. Take care.
Alright, a couple of things. First of all, I've now got my own bed, so I can always sleep here. And since it's a bed that I own, I can also save the game here. Also, 1 groschen for every 6 sacks. I'll die of old age before I earn enough to save up for a horse. But speaking of horses, he did just say that the stable at Samine, they'd rounded up a bunch of horses from the ambush at Rocktower Pond, including an old grey nag. That's Pebbles, my horse. Something else I'm going to have to look into. If I can somehow convince them to give me Pebbles back, or at least give me a massive discount, and some way of proving that Pebbles was my horse, that should save a ton of cash. Anyway, these sacks ain't going to move themselves anytime soon, are they? There's no way I'm expected to just hump these sacks all day, surely. Oh, something's happening.
What the?
That's not flour. Those look like lead balls.
Have you got it done?
Are those bullets? What's he up to?
I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar grain here, Miller. It's got a bit of a metallic flavour to it.
Kurva. Can't you be more careful?
Tell me the truth. What are you really doing here?
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the cauldron of knowledge sooner than I expected. You think you're ready?
Yes.
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. But we're only just scratching the surface. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
Yep, the Lower Samine Mill is where you come to learn about thievery.
So thievery? Just like Peshek in Ratai. I should have known.
Thievery? What a crude way of putting it.
But a truthful one.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskowitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine. But due to an unfortunate twist of fate, ended up there. It's called The Offer of Hermes Trismegistos. It's written right on it. Can you read? At least a little?
I can read. But I reckon that's the catch, isn't it?
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded.
Of course it is. And then you'll get me into Samine's wedding?
Aye. If you help me, I'll find a way to get you there. Miller's honor.
So, barely 2 days in Trotsky, and I'm already misbehaving. I only have 2 lockpicks to my name, and I'm not exactly well equipped for thieving. But don't worry, Miller Kreyzl's got that covered.
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peeking through his chests. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it out for you?
Yes, please.
Black clothes, the play of light and dark. A quiet night, and those who live in the shadows, concealed beneath its veil.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothing and head over there after midnight.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
Pick them up? You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer before the main course? There's no sense in trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible to talk to.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed. I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Why call it the art of thievery? It's simply an art. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dreams. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you carried the sacks to. You can practice on that.
Where exactly should I look for this document? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskowitz rat house.
I can't help you there, but my hand Zinnik might know more. He had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got caught because of something else, and they took it from him. I'm pretty sure he's still on display in the stocks on the square. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he did, the guards will turn out your pockets. Then it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even read.
All right. I reckon I know everything I need. Thanks.
So, Miller Kreyzl will get me into the wedding at Samine, giving me the opportunity to meet Lord Berghoff, but it comes at a price. There's just one small item that he'd like me to, well, steal is too strong a word, let's say recover for him first. And to that end, he's prepared to not only equip me, but have his boys teach me the noble art of thievery. And the worst thing that can possibly happen is I get caught, I get my hands cut off, and I get branded with a thief's mark. Yeah, it seems like an acceptable risk. So join me in the next episode where, amongst other things, we're going to be finding out exactly how this is going to work out for me. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.